Really happy to see you are showing interest in AI, ML, and GenAI.
Naveen, can you take a minute? Guys, everyone, please go mute yourself. This is the session. Please go mute. Just we wanted to ask you either to raise your hand or you can message in the group. Okay, please go mute.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for taking out time and joining us today. We are really happy to see you people showing interest in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and generative AI. Because honestly, this stuff is the future. Well, today is not going to be a boring webinar. That I could assure you from my side, at least. Now, let me take you through this demo session. And hope you can see. So this is our today's agenda. Don't worry, I'll not be reading all these points, but we'll be talking about the AI job market, how companies are using AI, why this course is going to be a game changer for you, and how we'll plan to get you from beginner to job ready, right? So those are the points we have kept it here. And we'll introduce ourselves, and you must know the mentors, qualification. And then towards the end, we'll take your questions. Hope that sounds good. Now let's go. So this is myself, Naveen Maurya. I'll be your instructor for generative AI. I have overall of 8.5 years of experience, and I have been working as an AI specialist in one of the MNC companies. And we have our awesome co-trainer, Vasant Banu. Vasant Banu, could you please introduce yourself?
Sure, thank you for your quick introduction. Hello everyone, my name is Vasant and I have close to 8+ years of experience and I'm currently working as a product manager in Gartner, India. So my expertise is dealing with the machine learning concepts and generative AI, but here I'm your instructor for machine learning and I've been in the same domain for close to 8 years working in a CRM domain.
Okay, thank you, Banu. Yeah. Hope there is no disturbance from my side. Yeah. So the first question we have, why is AI gaining so much attention across industries today? Right? To answer this, we'll have to look at the survey done by World Economic Forum. Right? So if you see it, the fastest growing jobs from date range of 2025 to 2030. So AI and machine learning specialists is on the top 5. And if you see, 78% year-over-year growth is happening for the AI and machine learning specialists. So if you go to this particular forum, you could see AI and ML is going to create millions of jobs in the coming 5 years, right? So yeah, not only on the fastest growing jobs, this already you know about how fast the AI is growing. Like you might be looking at some of the journals or news channels or even YouTube videos saying that they are creating a lot of hype on artificial intelligence, particularly after the advent of ChatGPT from year 2023, I guess. So November 2023. So the ChatGPT, when it came into the market, so there was a lot of buzz about artificial intelligence. Earlier also we had a lot, basically on machine learning, particularly machine learning and data science. Now the buzz is completely moving towards machine learning plus generative AI, the combination of machine learning and generative AI, right? So you could also go through this PDF document, the source, and you'll find how day by day, how many companies are thinking about moving their workforce to learn artificial intelligence or training them, right? So this, okay, this slide you already got. These are the fastest growing jobs, and AI ML is leading. Not only fastest growing jobs discussion, we must know about fastest declining jobs as well. So in the next 25 years, 2025 to 2030, so there will be a decline of jobs in particular, in the IT industry particularly, right? So you might be knowing, so there are some job roles like testers or non-tech roles. So all those are getting replaced with the AI tools. So the AI tools are taking the job of them and performing the work within seconds, right? So I don't want to discourage any of you who are doing these jobs, but I would like to give a information about it, right? And coming to the organizational strategy for AI integration, right? So every big company right now is asking, how do we use AI to grow faster, work smarter, and stay ahead, right? This is a common question to most of the companies. So basically, each and every company, maybe it might be a product-based company or a service-based company, they'll be having millions of workforce, right? Might not be millions, maybe in thousands as well. But so if the AI is gaining and some people are working, the common job roles, so they want them to get trained with AI, right? So which is nothing but reskilling and upskilling. If you see, 77% of the companies are searching for it. So if you're working in a service based company, you would have already got this mandatory generative AI training, right? So they are mandatory. Your HR would have already asked you to complete the training and get the certificate from the corresponding platform, right? So this all started from 2 years, and companies are investing billions of dollars in artificial intelligence and machine learning. So when I say artificial intelligence, it covers machine learning, deep learning, everything till generative AI, right? So this is the first thing. The 77% of the companies are looking to upskill and reskill the existing workforce, which you already know. You might not be knowing the stats, but that is true, right? Not only that, there are many other people like the people who have joined. So they might be freshers or working professionals in some other domain, or some might be in some non-tech roles as well. So whatever the role they are doing currently, so they are also trying to switch to AI. So this is not happening only in India, this is happening worldwide. So that's the reason I'm requesting you to go through this article, and you will get a ample of knowledge. So there they'll mention millions of jobs are getting created through AI, but I'm not representing all that here. Okay, I'm just showing you the stats and the percentage of it. Okay, yeah. Now we must know why. I'll just give you a key insights on this thing. Whenever a technology comes into market, let be the technology might be IT one, right? So basically, it changes only any particular way. It might be job market impact, or companies investment, or education and skill development, etc. But when this generative AI, or when the AI has boomed, all these factors have impacted a lot. See, basically, there is a impact on job market, which you already know, and companies' investment. You see, companies like Accenture, or you would have seen that very recently invested billions of $3 billion on it, right? And lifestyle changes. Yes, we are using Chat GPT or any other AI powered assistance. So these are all have become part of our life. Not only that, our government of India or any particular governments are also looking to upskill the childs as well, like starting from +2. You would have seen these advertisements in YouTube or any news journals, right? So they are trying to implement the skill development programs to teach students at least a part of AI. You must understand why it is, right? So when we say AI, I was using many technical terms, right? Artificial intelligence, machine learning, generative AI, deep learning, natural language processing, etc., etc. Right? So we first must know what these terms are. At this point, I know that these terms can be confusing, but I'll let you give a brief idea about it. So artificial intelligence is a broader spectrum, right? It's a broad technology which consists machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI as a subfields. Okay. So when coming to machine learning is a branch of AI, which you already know, where computers learn from data and improve their performance without being explicitly programmed. Right? I know this definition might be confusing, but if the computer is itself learning from the data that you are sending and performing any kind of task, that is nothing but machine learning. And the process of implementing this is nothing but implementing an algorithm, right? So that is what machine learning is. You're teaching a machine to what to do, right? That is what machine learning is. And when coming to this deep learning, what is deep learning? So you wouldn't have heard this deep learning. You would have heard this machine learning, generative AI, and artificial intelligence, but not this deep learning. Around 1940s, so people were searching for an idea where they want to make a machine that can implement exactly like a human brain, right? They just want to make a machine which replicates the learning just like human brain does. So however we learn things usually in every day, like playing cricket or reading books or whatever the task may be, our brain is processing in such a way that the scientists want the machines to work in the same way, right? So they just want the brain to be replicated artificially, which is nothing but deep learning. So here we will be discussing on neural networks and how these neural networks are going to resemble human brain, right? This is what deep learning is all about. And generative AI, the most, the buzzword from the past couple of months, right? So generative AI is a that subfield of artificial intelligence again that can let you create, content. So that might be text, audio, video, images, or whatever. So generative AI is that super smart creative buddy, I could say. It can write essays for you, draw images for you, compose music, and even chat like a human, right? So however you are doing with ChatGPT. So after I say this, you would have got this doubt, you right? So if I join this course, what are the jobs I can apply after completing this course, right? Since we are starting with machine learning and till generative AI, of course, including this deep learning as well, which is mandatory for generative AI. So when you learn this entire course, you will be in a position to apply to any of these roles you find in the any job portal, right? It might be a machine learning engineer, NLP specialist, generative AI engineer, deep learning, AI research, AI engineer, LLM engineer, right? So some of them fall into generative AI, some of them fall into deep learning, some of them fall into machine learning. At last, all of them will be falling into this spectrum, right? And we are going to learn this in the coming 3 months. Yep. So yeah, this is also one different question. What is the job market for AI roles in terms of salary and growth? Okay. So I'm just giving you a brief idea. So these stats we have got from Glassdoor, Ambition Box, or whatever. So a machine learning engineer with an experience of around 5 to 8 years or 5 to 10 years, they are falling into this salary range, right? So machine learning engineer, let's say he's having some 8 years or 5 to 8 years something. So you could, you'll be a demanded person in the market. So you could demand at least in this spectrum, so 15 to 35 lakhs in the job market currently, which we have in India. Of course, many of my colleagues are receiving it. Uh, it's not like getting the data from any job portals. I see many people are getting this package, right? And yeah, so these are a couple of questions. Though you did not ask, yeah, let me, as per the experience that we got from the previous batches, these are the most asked the questions, right? What skills are top companies seeking in AI and ML professionals today? How can you future proof your career with in demand AI and ML expertise? Is there a course that covers everything we have explored from fundamentals to job ready skills? So if you're having any of these questions, I would say I would say this course is going to fulfill those doubts you are having. So advanced machine learning and generative AI course, uh, yeah, we together have designed along with our institute's decision to be practical, industry ready, and super beginner friendly. When I say super beginner friendly, you'll see what this means in the next slides, right? So this is the roadmap to follow when you want to apply for any kind of the 6 roles that I have mentioned earlier: machine learning plus generative AI journey, right? So basically, we'll be starting over here. As you might be have already seen in the brochure, saying that no prerequisites. So when we say that, you need not to have any kind of prior knowledge, right? So basically, we'll start our journey from here. We'll teach Python first, right? From the fundamentals to the advanced, till the libraries NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, right? We'll cover everything that is required for machine learning and generative AI, firstly. And then we'll be moving to the mathematics session, where we'll be teaching you some of the concepts like linear algebra and all, which is required for machine learning, data science, or generative AI, right? And then we'll be covering the statistics part. We'll be moving to machine learning next. So when you reach this point of 4, you would have already got all the fundamentals required for the machine learning, right? Basically, we are covering all these 3. So you will be pretty much confident that you will be in a position that I can learn machine learning very easily, right? That's the point 4 here. And then we'll be going to the machine learning part, where we'll be covering 3 capstone projects, sorry, 2 capstone projects. And then you'll be dealing with lots of mini projects, right? With the libraries like TensorFlow, PyTorch, something, etc., etc. So which we'll discuss the detailed curriculum later on. But for now, you just remember that we have covered all the 4, and then we'll be moving to the generative AI portion, which is the advanced. You have seen earlier in the slides. Generative AI, here we'll be starting with the deep learning, and then I'll be explaining you the basics of everything, and then we'll be at last deploying the models in production. So that part. So that is the reason we are calling this program as a job ready skill, because you need not to learn anything. We are not expecting any kind of prior knowledge upfront, but by the time you reach this point, you would be saying that I'll apply to any of the 6 roles that I have. I'm very pretty much confident on that. So that part we'll be taking you, right? So you can see in machine learning. So when we see about this course, it's not about only machine learning but plus generative AI. You must know how to deploy those models, right? So basically, the deploying of models completely depends on MLOps, and this course contains MLOps as well as one of the module. So that it's not about theoretical, it's not only about practical, it's not about only exercise or assignments. It's about deploying the model into production as well. So you are going to learn that when we added this MLOps module into this, right? And then, yeah, we'll this is a moment where we'll have to discuss a detailed curriculum, so that you'll get a very good understanding of what we are going and what sequence we are going to follow. So at this point, I would like to take a break, and I request Mr. Banu, could you please pitch in and take our audience to the detailed course curriculum?
Sure, Navin. Yeah, thank you for this. Hello, guys. Hope you're able to audible, and let me share my screen first. Just one moment. Yeah, guys, can you able to see my screen? I hope. Okay, so let me take you through whatever so far Navin has explained. So here is the deep curriculum. So thanks, Navin. Thanks for your pitch in on the course content so far. But this particular module, we will cover in detail what the course curriculum is about. So as a machine learning and generative AI engineer, so when you come into the real world, so you'll deal a lot of times some of the machine learning concepts, MLOps, and the AI models and the AI deployments. But in order to do all these things, you should have the basic fundamentals on the Python programming, as well as the maths and statistics. For the Python programming, why I say Python programming especially is because data science is always revolves around the Python, and Python is one of the real open source coding software, which is easy, very much compatible to other languages. Okay, so let me go through in detail curriculum about this. So let here we start with the curriculum. So our course starts with the basic understanding on the Python. Yeah. So in the Python, what we will teach in the Python? Okay. Let me start.
Bano, I think your screen is not appearing here. Uh, Zoom, could you please?
Just a minute. Oh, yeah. I think hope I'm able to.
Yes, it is visible now. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, guys, I missed out. Yeah. Thanks, Navin, for pointing out. Okay, here is the detailed curriculum that I was going to share with you guys. Um, yeah, so let me start with the Python. So what we will cover in for the Python. So Python, in the Python, we will start with the basic tools that are required for any machine learning or generative models. So you might have different tools ready-made installed on premises of your laptop, such as Anaconda, Jupyter Notebook, and VS Code. These are pretty much useful when you wanted to cover the Python programming. But there are some open source tools I wanted to cover you. That is called the uh, Google Colab. You can directly open the Google Colab, write the Python programming, and do whatever you want. You don't have to install all those things in your premises. But I also recommend you to install these when we go through. But we will start with the course on the same one. So because when you wanted to deploy the ML models latter stages, this will be helpful for you. But if you wanted to practice only Python programming, Google Colab is fine. Okay, so what you, let's say you have the Python tools, not what you should do. So what you will do is you will understand what is the type of data types in the Python. There will be list, there will be tuple, there will be dictionary. Okay, so all these concepts we will explain in detail with the Python programming. We'll write the code and we'll explain you how does it work on a any Python environment, and we'll also take you through what is the loop, what is the function, what is the inbuilt function, what are all the user defined functions that are available on the notebook or Google Colab. Okay, then we will take you through the important concepts called the libraries. Libraries are the important concepts for any machine learning as well as the generative models, right? Because these are the libraries which are inbuilt functions which helps us when we need not to explicitly program. When we use these libraries, obviously you'll be able to reduce the code, rather you focus on the performance of the machine learning model. So what are the important libraries? There is important library called NumPy, which is very much useful when you have the data, you wanted to modify anything, you wanted to load that CSV file into NumPy, and you wanted to do the modification on it. NumPy library is one of the important concept. And then comes the pandas. So what do you do with the pandas? You will try to insert a new row, or you will try to manipulate the data frames that you have created. Then comes the MATLAB. So let's say, for example, you have rich data and you wanted to represent those in a Python programming, right? You wanted to represent in a graphical form. So which tool you use? Majorly, Matplotlib is the one of the simplest. You wanted to draw the histogram from the data that you have, and you wanted to represent that in histogram form or any bar chart. All these things is very much possible with using just Python libraries. You don't have to write any explicit program. You just have to uh, uh, select a function, draw a particular bar. That's it. It doesn't require much programming. That's why libraries are one of the important fundamentals for any machine learning or AI models. Then we will take you through in the fourth chapter. We will take you through how does the file handling happens in any Google Colab or any file. How do you program when you wanted to take the data set into your Python programming environment? How do you do that? How do you process that? You have the large data set. You might have to work in the real world. How do you do that? Because data format can be in any form, like whether it is in a JS format, Excel format, any pre-written script that should be machine should be understandable. So we will explain you how to handle that. And there's a fundamental OOPS concept, which is very modular programming. This we also call them. This is very much useful when you go, for the larger machine learning model. Okay. So this is about the Python programming. So under Python programming, what did we cover majorly? So far, like basic concepts and the libraries, right? Now let me take you through what is the course for the maths and statistics. So under the maths, usually the important concept that you required is when you wanted to work as a machine learning engineer, majorly you should understand what is the vectors, what is the eigenvalues. You might see these kind of terminals where during your engineering or probably during your +2 mathematics, but you may not remember all those things now, right? But we will cover here the basics, because when you go into the machine learning, you will see a lot of time, lot of buzz about eigenmatrix, eigenvectors, system gives you. How do you understand them without having the basics? That's why we wanted to teach you about the basic fundamentals about the linear algebra. Okay, that also covers the Euclidean distance, Manhattan distance, other concepts as well. And in the calculus, we will teach you what is the differential calculus, partial calculus, and we'll also walk you through what are the gradient descent methods. You might be wondering what these are terms might be, but when you go through individual machine learning models, these are the fundamentals that require any guy who needs them. Then we'll also take you through what is probability. So under probability, you might see a lot of distributions. You might see there's a beautiful graphs that have been distributed. So you may have the lot of times Excel sheets in some kind of tables, and you wanted to represent that in a normal distributed form. So how do you do that? So we will explain you what is the distribution, what is a normal distribution. These are all the fundamental concepts that require any ML engineering, because in day-to-day life you will deal with these things. And there will also other concepts called Z-score, skewness, kurtosis. These are all the other statistical measures that are required when you deal with a lot of distribution graphs. Okay. Then, so you have let's say you have the mass understanding. Now, what else other required, right? As a machine learning engine, you will have to understand what is the statistical concepts, basic statistical concepts. Okay, so under the distribution, the systems give you a lot of graphs, and you wanted to understand you wanted to only check only for one particular sample, and you wanted to check what is output for that bird. But how do you understand all these things? With the basic understand, we will teach you what is each example, what is a population, what is a sample, and how do you take out the sample from the rich data set, and you want to predict only particular variables for that. So we'll teach you in detail what about this. Of course, under the statistics, there are a lot of data types. Lots of graphs. And the data distribution is only whether it is discrete form, like data can be, let's say for a one particular variable, data can be in a, let's say if you have the data sample and you have one, two, three samples, the data can be in 1, 2, 3 in this form, or the data can be 1 to 10, 11 to 20. Okay, like this, there will be distribution of data can be there, right? So what are all these things? These are all called discrete and continuous data. Okay, so a lot of time in your day-to-day life, when you are learning when you are dealing as a machine learning engineer, you will have to deal with this kind of data, unique data, or some can be very much different. So without understanding the basic concepts, it is very much difficult for any machine learning. That's why we wanted to start with all the basics. Okay, and there's also called other terminologies called mean, mode, medium. These are all very much fundamental. You can easily understand, but there is much more to statistics on this. Two more important statistics are descriptive and inferential statistics. Because these concepts will be very much useful when you when you are a machine learning engineer in a healthcare sector. A lot of time, what you will do is you will deal with the inferential statistics. Let's say a lot of times your analysis will be is like kind of trial and error method, right? In a healthcare healthcare domain, a lot of times healthcare providers will take your data when they fill out forms, or when you fill out something in an application, they'll take a lot of data. What they will do on a backend, they will do a lot of analysis, iterations. They will try to suggest you some kind of medicines when you wanted to check, or they will try to do some kind of recommendation. For that, there's a lot of analysis behind that. One of the fundamental is called hypothesis. Here, just I wanted to explain you what is this about the hypothesis testing. Just be with me. So here is the graph I wanted to show here. So for any normal distribution, any data set, just let me take you one example. let's say any healthcare industry provider, he wanted to check whether a person is diabetic or not. I wanted to check whether a person is diabetic or not, right? Fundamentally, I wanted to check that, and I have a lot of data about like probably 100 people, 100 people's data I have, and I have a BP of that person. I have a sugar details of that person, and at the end of the all with all these inputs, X1, X2, X3, I wanted to predict whether the person is diabetic or not. That's what I wanted to do. How hypothesis concepts is going to helpful for you here. Here, let's say this is the distribution data. All the data, the people who are been diabetic, those are who are non-diabetic. The data can be distributed like this. These are all the people who are diabetic. These are all the people non-diabetic, and there's a possibility that a non-diabetic patient can be followed into a diabetic, which is really false positive, which should not be there. Otherwise, but because he is worried about, though I am not diabetic, then person is providing saying that I am diabetic. It's worrisome for him. That's why hypothesis concept is important. How accurate about your model. So that there's a two concepts called precision and recall, where you will try to see based on the 100 number of data points. You have here 50 true positives, here 20, and here you have 10. Let's say data is distributed in such a way, 100 data points. And how do you predict a person is diabetic or not based on the precision and recall? These are the two fundamental concepts. How do you do that? Based on the percentage. How many true positives? 50. And how many true positive and negative? 50 plus 20, right? So 50 by 70. The model, you can say that whatever the assumption that you say is like probably 70% is accurate. So you can say whatever the data that you have, 70% is accurate. That's how you use the hypothesis testing. Sorry for taking more time, but this is important when a person wanted to become an ML engineer. Understanding the basic concepts is very much important. That's why I have explained that here. There are other concepts called type 1 error and type 2. So whatever false positive, we assume it as type 1 error. Whatever the false negative, it is or type 2 error. And you'll deal these kind of things in very much detail when you go into the model. Right now, it's only the basic concepts. But this is all about the basic understanding about the statistics. So for what we have covered Python basics, we have covered maths for AI, and we also covered the statistics and data. Now let me take you to the important concepts and the machine learning, right? So yeah, so when we start the machine learning content actual course, we'll start with what is the fundamentals of machine learning. What is the type of machine learning? What are the what are the different categories under the machine learning, whether it is supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement learning, okay? And we'll also take you through how does the machine learning workflow gets, right? So any machine learning workflow has one particular workflow, that is. And how does AI ML deep learning understand? How does it differ? Okay, so we'll let you understand all those things in the first module in a machine learning. In the second module, in the machine learning, we will explain you what is supervised learning. Under the supervised learning, what are the different types of subcategories are available. So see, in real world, supervised learning is all about, you have the rich data set, very much structured. What you will try to do is, you don't have to pre-process it. You directly give it to the model and you train it. Okay. So you train to the model and you try to predict the output. That's how very much simple about the supervised learning. But two concepts, like I said, regression and logistics classification, right? So what is regression and classification? I just wanted to tell you with the example. So regression is nothing but when you wanted to predict an output, whether it is yes or no, or when you wanted to predict a real number. That's what regression is about. The name itself, regression, means predicting a real number, right? So under the regression models, you have linear regression, polynomial, ridge lasso, decision tree. We will explain you all those things in theoretically along with the labs. See, learning theory is not the ultimate choice for anyone when you join a course. You will have to practice them on the lab session. So when you in our modules, when our teaching, when we go through, First thing is we will explain you with the theoretically what is linear regression, what are all the assumptions as a linear regression, what is the mathematical expression for that, and what is the performance metrics that will be used. After learning all the theory, what we will teach you is on a lab session, we'll open the Jupyter notebook or Google Colab. We will write the basic all the steps by taking out one business context, or you can call them as a mini project. Like previously, I have example whether a person is diabetic or not, non-diabetic. You want how do you derive that, right? Using linear regression or logistic regression. We'll explain you fundamentally how does this concept works on a lab session, right? Then only you'll be able to understand, because in real world, when you work as a machine learning engineer, you are going to work as it is, right? That's how it's important to learn by doing the lab sessions. Okay, by doing the programming on a Python programming, we'll explain you on that. And what is classification? Classification is nothing but when you wanted to define any problem and define the output into some classes. Whether the person, let's say, for example, you have a problem set and you wanted to predict what kind of age group that a product is going to buy. Let's say middle age group, if a product is going to, most of the times companies do the sentimental analysis. Sentimental analysis is nothing but a, whenever a corporate company is trying to introduce a new product into the market, they will try to understand which type of group is going to buy more, whether it's a middle age group, whether it is a male people, or whether it is a senior citizens. They wanted to understand so that their marketing strategies can be improved and sales, so that they will plan for the higher sales. So classification comes under this. Okay, so that's all. Under the classification, you'll have logistic regression, decision trees, random forest. These are all the models. Once again, we'll explain all those concepts theoretically. We'll take you through the labs, explain all those things by writing the programmings, and at the end of the module, we will improve the performance of that model. Okay, this is about the supervised learning, right? Now let me take you through what is in the third module. We will explain you what is unsupervised learning. So this is very much important, I would say, because in most of our world, all the data that people collect are not structured. Many a times it misses out. When health providers, when you fill out survey, do you fill out when somebody, let's say for example, there's a survey is going on, people ask you to fill out. Unless it is not mandatory of a star column or for that row, you won't fill out, right? So some information you won't fill out, and at the source somebody is missing that information. So a lot of time you in real world you will get these kind of data, and somebody wants it to check the sales of that model, sales of the improve the sales of that company or sales of the product. Most of the time data is unstructured. So using machine learning models, how you're going to help those companies or the product improve the sales. So that's where the unsupervised learning concept comes. So three important concepts under unsupervised learning is clustering, k-means clustering, hierarchical, and debate. These are all the important parts. What you will do is you will take that data, you will cluster them out, and you will try to get the center of gravity for each one, and all the data points are revolved out that. That's how you do it. And once you cluster out the data, then you will use the supervised learning again, similar to what we have so far explained. Then same, it goes on, right? Iteration goes on. That's how you learn, understand the unsupervised learning. And I'm going to tell you, this is very important in real world. You are going to deal with the same unsupervised learning. Most of the times you're going to deal with this. And also we will take you through what is the dimensionality reduction. Under the dimensionality reduction, most of the times, what you will try to do is you will try to eliminate the data which is not important for you, and you will always focus on the data that is very much focused, the factors which influence the output, right? That's about the principal component analysis, TSNE, autoencoders. Okay, so this is very much about the unsupervised learning. Now let me take you through what is data preprocessing and feature engineering on the fourth module. So what is data preprocessing on feature engineering? These concepts is very much useful for any data analyst or a machine learning engineering or any engineering, because any ML engineering spend 50 to 6% of their time here only. Why I'm saying is that most of the time the information you get from CRM systems or the Excel sheet that you get, or missing lot of values, or some kind of, instead of a text you are getting a number there on that particular cell, or instead of getting 1 2 3 values, you are having the decimals like after point as well, which is not very much. You will have to structure them, pre-process it, then only you'll have to give it the, you'll be able to give that to machine learning model, right? So this is very much important. That's why there are many lab sessions are available that we are going to teach you what is, how to handle the missing values when before you train your model, and how to do the feature engineering, and how to do the encoding categorical variables and handling the imbalanced data. Okay, so we'll explain you in detail in that. Then we'll take you through in the fifth module how do you evaluate the model. Now let's say for example you have the model ready, you have the rich data is ready, you pre-processed it. What you're going to do is, there's the machine learning model you have chosen. Let's say for example you have chosen the linear regression model. What you're going to do is 100 data set, let's say you have 100 data points available. Sorry, this is messy, but I will try to explain you here with a simple. Now you have the 100 data sets. What you will do is you will split that into 70-30 ratio for training and test. And you will try to, whatever that 70 data points you have, you train that model so that all the data points you are being trained. And how do you evaluate the model, whether it's performing well or not? Rest of the 30 data sets you have, right? You will evaluate that model using these concepts, right? You will try to cross-validate this. And there are some bias and variations are still be there in the model. What you'll try to do is that 30% of the test data, you will predict the performance of the model. So there are performance metrics available for both unsupervised and supervised learning. One of them is previously I explained precision recall. This is very much important. Previously in the hypothesis testing, I have already explained you, but under the, when you go into the modules, when you go into our sessions, we will detailedly explain you on this. So finally, what you will do is like, you, once the model is trained, you will try to evaluate the model on the 30% of data. You will, let's say the model is like 70% accurate. What you will do, you're not satisfied with it. In healthcare domain, most of the times people follow Six Sigma on an automobile as well. Very rarely, four out of 1 million jobs need to be incorrect. Rest of the data need to be correct. So that means 99% of 99.99964% of the model should be accurate. So for that, always you will try to do the lot of iteration, do a lot of how do you do that? How do you improve more model? So that's why you have feature selection, feature importance are important. Which feature will improve the model performance? We'll explain you in detail with one project. Then there are some concepts called ensemble technique. So these are the ensemble learnings which will improve the model. It's called bagging and boosting. We'll explain you in detail. And that's all you have the model. Now let's say your model is accurate 99.9964%. Now what do you do? You're satisfied with the model. Now, okay, you understand it. What you'll do, you will have to deploy that model. What you'll do? Finally, see, machine learning is not about learning the theoretical concepts. Unless you have the model need to be deployed on a cloud environment or any UI, it's not useful for anyone, right? You will have to share that data with many people so that people can take the decision. That's why there's a lot of times people whatever they learn, they will try to deploy it. That's why these course covers ML ops as well, which is very much important for any machine learning engineering. Because unless learning the model and deploying them, it's not much more useful. That's why we'll cover in detail. Okay. And there's a concept called reinforcement learning, which is very much used popular for automotive engineering as well, as because this is a trial and error method where machines try to understand by doing learning in robotics as well. Like when robot try to pass one particular tunnel, and it whenever somebody crosses that, it tries to obstruct, it tries to learn somebody is passing it by. So that's why it's a trial and error method. So under the reinforcement learning, we will teach you the basic concept fundamentals of MDP, DQN, and methods with one Python programming. Now let's say you have learned all the concepts of machine learning and ML ops, right? Now, what is important for you is we will at the end of the ML Corps, you have understanding all the theoretical concepts. What is important for you now is we will explain you with one projects by taking out any business case study, whether it is a healthcare domain or business, bank, finance. We'll explain you in detail from taking out the business context, and we will take out one machine learning model. We will improve the model, we will get the model, and at the end of the model accuracy, we will deploy that model with end to end, right? So that's how the one capstone project is designed. From business context to ML ops, we'll fully explain you with the Python programming how do we do that. Okay, so there are other concepts that you will learn in the machine learning model, you can see here, which is very much popular. These tools are, now you understand that with the capstone project, what one we explained. Now what you're going to do is we will ask you to do one project. We will give you the same way. We will give you the rich data set. We will give you the problem statement. Now we will what our expectation is to, so far whatever the concept that we have, you we will we'll expect you to use them and do that project. Then only your knowledge will be successful, because when you go into the real world as a ML engineer, you will face these problems. Unless you practice them on your own, it's not going to be fruitful, right? That's why it is very much important. Sorry guys, I might have taken longer time to explain you, but this is the course curriculum for the machine learning. And so far what we have covered, we have covered Python, math, stats, machine learning, and ML ops. So since I am instructor for machine learning, I'll be covering all these 5 models. All things will be covered in detail with the lab session, and we will provide you the notes at the end of the session as well, and lab sessions as well to practice you. Now I wanted to ask my colleague, my co-instructor Naveen, to take further here from what is about deep learning, NLP, generative AI, what is the course curriculum for this. So yeah, that's all about from mine. Naveen, can I ask you to take from here? I'll stop sharing my
Sure,
screen.
Banu. Yeah, thank you. Please keep your screen shared.
Oh, okay. I'll keep this open. Thank
Yeah,
you.
let me cover here itself.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure. Yeah, let me share my screen. So can you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, Naveen, you can start. I'll be going on.
Thank you. So yeah, till now, Banu has covered the whole machine learning syllabus, and hereafter I'll be showing you the detailed generative AI syllabus. Yeah, please select that PDF. Yeah, please go down. Yep. So detailed generative AI syllabus. So as I was saying from the first slides, we'll be giving equal importance to both machine learning and generative AI. So as per the decision, the institute has asked us to cover 50% weightage to both of it, because we are going to see ample of job opportunities in the future, at least in the coming 2 or 3 years. So yeah, let me show you how the generative AI syllabus is going to start. Yes. Yeah. So we are going to start our syllabus with deep learning firstly. As I was saying earlier, deep learning is nothing but uh, a technology or a subfield of artificial intelligence, which is all about neural networks, which mimics just like our human brain. So this entire topic, we'll be going deeper on the neural networks, and we'll see how can we train the model, and how can we test the model. So all those kind of things. So when I say a neural network, you might not be understanding what it is at the moment, but it is nothing but a replication of human brain, right? So for example, if I ask you a question, your brain replies to that, right? So some processing will be happening inside, and some calculations will be happening, and at the end it will be delivering some output, correct? In the same way, there is a neural network which we called as artificial neural network, because it is a machine, right? So that's the reason. So it also process just like our human brain and sends the output just like that. right? So firstly, we'll discuss on the history of deep learning in this generative AI syllabus, and then we'll be going to the neural network architecture. How does it look? And what are the deep neural networks, what are shallow, and what is a single neural network or a perceptron, right? So we'll cover from the basics, from the history, what happened in 1940s, how the scientists have got that idea. Within 2 minutes we'll cover that part, and then we'll be going towards the advanced topics. All right, so we'll be covering the fundamentals of neural networks, and then we'll be having sessions on deep learning frameworks like TensorFlow versus PyTorch. So we'll do some mini projects over there using TensorFlow and PyTorch. Okay, so why we are building a mini project on this is, we'll give a problem to that model. First we'll build a model, and then we'll give a problem to that model, and we'll expect some kind of output from the model. That can be done using the training and testing methodologies, which we'll be covering. You need not to worry about that. So when I use this neural network, some of you might have got scared, or some kind of negative thing would have come into your mind, but neural network is very simple thing. So any topic, machine learning or generative AI, we'll be trying our level best to keep it in a very simpler way. In the same way, neural networks, deep neural networks, all those things will be explained along with the Python libraries like TensorFlow versus the PyTorch, when to use the TensorFlow and when to use PyTorch, right? So the next part is natural language processing. So daily we are using ChatGPTs, right? So we give a question to it, and it takes up the question, it processes it, and then it delivers the output to us, correct? In the same way, natural language processing is a concept behind it. Okay, so for example, if we give a question, it has to first pre-process it, right? And then right, so machines can't understand our English language, so they need a special representation of words. They can only understand the numerical things. It might be numerical numbers or vectors, right? So at first it will be pre-processing, and then it will be representing those words in whatever the format it understands, right? And then it classifies the text, and then the sentiment analysis, if we want, we can do that. Okay, what it is actually happening is, the chat GPT or kind of any kind of AI chatbot, so basically it takes the text, pre-process it, and represents it in a manner that it can understand, and then it classifies the text, and then it provides the output. Okay, at this point of time, you might be feeling that I'm going little fast, but we are going to deal it in a very simpler way, which I'm going to show in the coming slides. Okay, so basically after that we are going for RNN and LSTM. At the point of deep learning, we would have already learned artificial neural network, and from NLP, natural language processing, we'll be dealing with RNN, which is a recurrent neural network, and LSTM. Okay, so these are sequential models. Okay, so however a chatbot can understand human language, so the sequentially it will show up the thing. Sorry, I got some disturbance. Just checking on that. Yeah, so yeah, just to tell you simply, RNN is a sequential model, and LSTM has a little difference between both those. Okay, if a model can keep the long distance relationship between the words, then it is called as LSTM. That is a added thing with the RNN. So RNN with that, plus with that advantage, is nothing but LSTM. So we'll do mini projects on that. You need not to worry about that. And coming to the next thing, large language models. Okay, this is where we are going to spend a lot of time. So yeah, large language models, you would have already known or heard about it. So basically this concept, we are going to start with transformer architecture. So basically in 2017, transformers were introduced by Google, right? And then till that point of time, we were using RNN and LSTMs. And with the advent of transformers, the LLMs and all, everything has changed in the artificial intelligence, I would say. This is the greatest invention or a discovery. Why? Because if we take 10 points of milestones of artificial intelligence, having this transformer will also be coming under those 10 points. Okay, and then we'll be going in detail on the transformers. Banu, I think you are, is it fixed now? You're moving a lot.
Yeah, it's fixed now. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I think there is a glitch from my side as well. I could see some disturbance. Okay, fine. Thank you, Banu. So, yeah, coming to LLMs, we will be discussing on transformers, and then we'll be covering the self-attention mechanism, so which is behind the transformers and all, right? And then, so basically, we'll believe in not only the theoretical explanation of a concept, we believe in practical implementation of the project, and also we'll be solving a mathematical problem. When we know what is happening behind a technology in a mathematical way, we could easily understand the concept. So if, for example, if I explain the transformer concept in an hour, so you could explain the same concept within 5 minutes by listening to the mathematical problem. So that is the advantage of it, right? So mathematical problems will be covered as part of it. I did not say when I was saying the deep learning, but yeah, I'm saying now. So yeah, pre-training and fine-tuning will be happening, and LLMs, we will be dealing with lots of LLMs, and we'll be using Hugging Face transformers as well. This is not much detail. The brochure, I tried to keep it as short as possible, just because of the reason we have given a detailed curriculum on machine learning and all. You could visit our website and you can see point to point what sequence we are going to follow, right? And then we'll be having the LLM inference and deployment. Then we'll be moving to the lang chain and RAG. Whatever the chatbot you're having, so if it is containing both langchain and RAG, it is going to be a super bot. Why? Because langchain is a framework that holds all the components together. The components may be any kind of GPT or model and vector database, etc., which I don't want to confuse you on that. But langchain will be covering in detail. And then RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation. So let me share my screen and implement some of the code here. Okay, Banu, I'm taking up the screen, right? Yeah, hope you can see my screen. Second, please. Yes. Okay, now I think you can see my screen, right? So this is a simple representation. Basically, this is a code. I'm just building
Yes,
a
can you speak?
chatbot.
Naveen, are you
Sorry.
can anybody confirm that you're able to view the screen?
Can anyone please confirm whether it is visible, my screen?
Naveen, share from both the screens. You might have missed out one. Yeah, I can see from
Yes,
one.
I'm sharing. I'm sharing. Yeah, let me pick someone and ask him. Okay. Okay. From the Zoom meeting, can anyone confirm whether they are able to see my screen or not?
Yes, sir, we can able to see your screen, sir.
Uh, so here I have opened. Thank you. Um, thank you so much for your reply. I've been waiting for that. So yeah, let me execute this particular code. So what I'm doing right now is I built a One second. The others are not able to see the screen, I guess. Let me share it. Okay, hope you can see right now. So basically what I'm doing is here I have built a rule-based AI assistant. Okay, so I named it like that. So if I ask it any kind of question, what is machine learning or what is okay, machine learning. So within milliseconds, it can answer to the question, right? Or what is neural network? I'm not sure whether I have fed the information to this. Let me see. Yeah, neural networks. So it is giving a proper answer. So this is nothing but a chatbot I have built on using the Streamlit application. So this we will not even consider as a mini project. You need not to worry. This is just a representation like how we could simply run a chatbot code. So I have used the Streamlit application. It will be looking after the front end application. So basically this is one. And then let me show you what is RAG exactly. Okay. So I was saying you, right? Like there is a concept called as RAG, retrieval augmented mm, generation. So let me show that now what it will be doing. Okay. So yeah, it is loading. Yeah, this is also built on Streamlit application itself. This is about RAG. Okay, so what is RAG? RAG is nothing but retrieval augmented generation. So basically, it is if we give it a document, or for example, let's say there is ChatGPT. Earlier, it do not have a real time exposure, right? So if you ask it what is happening, what is the latest news today, it couldn't have answered earlier when it GPT 3.5, right? Now chat gpt with rag implementation, you know what it can do. I'll just type what who are the trainers for this course, who are the trainers for this course. Yeah, it is able to answer the trainers for the course Advanced Machine Learning and Generative AI Job Oriented Program or Vasant Banu and Naveen Maurya, right? And in the same way, what are the features of this course, right? If I ask it, let's see whether it is going to provide or not. Yes, it has given perfectly. So all these features, how it is able to answer this? Because I have given a simple text document to it and just asked it to answer in the same way. Okay, but this is not the way I have fed the model. Okay, I gave it very roughly, but it is able to complete the sentences very perfectly in the English language. Okay, I did not give the features of the include those kind of things. Okay, I'll show you the text document now, but it can able to what are the let me again ask the question, what are the timings? I wouldn't have given the, yeah. So the live demo session is scheduled for April 5th, 2025 at 9 p.m. How does it know? Because I have trained this model with a simple text document, right? I gave some of the information about this course, and it is able to answer that. And it is able to, the interesting thing is, it is able to construct the English sentences perfectly. That is the thing. That is beauty of generative AI, right? Now, let me take you to some advanced chatbot. Okay, RAG GPT. Yes. Okay, now, yeah, it is running. So let us ask some question. Can any of you ask some question to it? If you have any question, you can tell me. I'll ask it. Can someone answer?
Yeah, I wanted to give you chances to the audience side.
Yeah, in the audience, can anyone ask a question? Let us ask this chatbot and see whether it is going to give a proper answer or not, right? Okay, all right. So
Maybe
what is
I want to
someone
check
has
what are the
asked?
beautiful places for visiting Hyderabad, around Hyderabad.
I see someone asked the question, what is Mistral? Let's type it. Let's see whether it is going to answer it or not. Yeah. It doesn't know that Mistral is a chart related to generative AI. It is giving a proper answer to it in terms of artificial intelligence. Okay, let us ask this and see. Yeah, in terms of artificial intelligence, Mistral is a workflow engine developed by the Stack community. It is designed to manage complex workflows and orchestrate tasks in a scalable and efficient manner. Right? And what was the second question? Somebody asked, right? In the chat box, I could see some messages. What is LLM model used for the chatbot? What is the LLM model used for the chatbot? So if you're asking me, it is a OpenAI chat GPT. All right. So we have a couple of variants there, right? I have taken a basic variant and I have built it. All right. So do you have any other questions to answer, to get answer? Okay. What are the vitamins available? Let's ask a simple basic question. So there are 13 essential vitamins. So yeah, this is a general question and it has answered perfectly. This is a very simple thing. So you need not to worry about anything, because we are going to, this is not even considered to be a mini project. All right, this is a simple assignment or a practical thing that we are going to see. All this code, whatever I have implemented in the VS code or running in the terminal, that I am going to explain you in detail. Okay, so let me go to the next slide. So this is a basic gist of what this course offers. We have already told you that this course is going to cover from zero to advanced, so no prior knowledge is required. All right, so no prior knowledge is required, and 100% hours of online training, that is fine. And industry focused for curriculum, when we say job oriented program, we mean it actually. So because we are going to put a good amount of effort to make you job ready. Okay, and this is fine. Industry expert led training, we have introduced ourselves, and 3 real world capstone projects. When we say this, we are not only talking about all the projects that we are going to discuss or explain you. All right, this is just the basic the major projects that you are going to do in real time when you get a job and you get placed in some of the companies, right? These are the type of process that we are going to deal. All right. Okay. So, and apart from this, we are going to we are going to discuss many mini projects as well. When coming to generative AI, we are going to have a couple of projects like coming from deep learning or NLP, RNN, LSTM, transformers, and LLMs. We are going to have mini projects on each and every topic. Okay, and coming to weekly assignments and practice sets, yes, we are going to discuss on that. Exclusive study materials and notes, yes, we'll see it. What kind of support we are going to give you on the job? We are going to help you in the interview, right? Not interview support, I mean preparing you for the interviews, or providing you the study materials and interview questions particularly, and correcting your resume, etc, etc is all right. Let me show you how a study material looks like. Yeah, I think now you can see the screen. Okay. So this is a simple, study material, which gives you, we'll have the slides over there and we'll have a detailed explanation of each and every topic. All right, we'll have sorry, Zoom attendees. Actually, others have been messaging that they are not able to see the screen properly. That's the reason I'm holding a bit. Okay, so we'll explain. We'll have a very good overview of each and every topic, what it is happening in the concept in detail. All right, and then let me close this entirely. Let me show this. Okay, so how are we going to explain the concepts? Okay, this should also be one of the questions, right? So yes, so we have a systematic and well articulated slides for understanding each and every topic. For example, we have seen LLM and RAGs, right? I'll show you that particular slide where you can imagine what is happening inside. This is a PPT on large language models, which we'll be discussing in the course. So this is a simple architecture. Okay, what is happening, what is RAG, and how it is connected with the lang chain, and what are the components of lang chain. So this is a simple representation of the architecture, what is actually happening inside a chatbot. Okay, in the same way we have a couple of other presentations, almost all of the concepts are will be covered easily to make your understanding in a very easy way. Let me show you. We will be providing, this is about deep learning. And for each and every topic, we will also be showing you some, mind maps kind of. So at what point we are during this course, and what topic we are explaining, all those things you could see here. So basically we'll be covering with the introduction of this deep learning, right? So at what point we are, and what are we going to discuss in the next part, and what are the associated topics with it. So all these kinds we will be mentioning in the in the way of mind maps representation. All right. Yes. So now we are at that point, right? Just give me a moment, please. Let me go to that particular presentation and uh, tell you what is happening. So we are at this place. I have shown you how a study material looks like, and I have shown you how the PPTs, which makes your preparation easy. Okay, if we say artificial intelligence, many people would be worried, right? So it deals with a lot of terms which we never heard of. So these kind of representations will make your understanding very easier. Okay, and then yeah. Uh, So this is the next thing. Any prior knowledge required to join this course, which we have already answered, and you could also feel the same. You need not any kind of prior knowledge, right? And then who can enroll to this course? Basically, IT professionals looking to transition into AML and GenAI, or professionals seeking high-paying AML jobs, Okay, and freshers and students, because we are covering this particular course from a very beginning, so all the audience are very welcome. And so this is all about who can enroll to this course. And yeah, these are the this gives you a proper information. So we are going to have classes from Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday are off. So yeah, notes we are going to provide after each and every session, right? And recordings will be available on daily basis. So once concept once the class is done, you'll be getting the recording. So these kind of features we are having. Mr. Banu, would you like to cover something here?
Yeah. That's one. Thanks, Navin. Just a moment. Let me cover you. Cover details. Guys, I just wanted to, before we go for next topics, I just wanted to check with you. Do you guys have any questions? Just let me know if you have any questions for that before I wanted to go for next.
Hi. Let's say like we are in USA, but the same all works for us. Is there any flexibility?
Because the course, can somebody please go on? I just wanted to ask one. Okay. So first thing I wanted to check is, Navin, can you go back to previous slide? Previous slide. Previous. So this one. Hold it. So guys, you might be wondering what this quiz course for. It's not for the IT professional who wants similar experience. Like they need not to have the same IT professional. Somebody who is non-IT professional, let's say for example, who have 2 year experience, um, and how can they can come back, they can come to us and learn this course, and they might have a question that at the end of the session, what is the benefit for them? No, we will help you with the resume preparation. And so when you have a 2 years of experience, with the 3 months learning experience, that what we are going to give you is you can put that in your resume that I have worked close to 1 to 1.5 years in the same domain. You can appear for the interview. When you have more than 5 years of experience, you can put with this concepts, whatever we have teach you, you can explain, put that in your resume that, oh, I have worked close to 2.5 years in the same concept for the last 2.5 years in my 5 years experience. You can go and appear for the interview, because the terms that the concept that we are going to cover you will give you an experience of close to that much knowledge. Okay, it's not restricted for only the guys who are in the current domain. The IT, this program is for IT professional who are looking in transition into especially ML and AI. And how do you impart your ML and AI knowledge in your current domain as well? That's why this course is very much in depth, and you can see whatever so far Navin me showed about the course curriculum in detail. Okay. Now I wanted to ask you one thing here. I wanted to take the Q&A session from here, because see, so whatever we have explained here, you might have the different questions that all together, because having the question in mind and before entering into a program, is having a clarity is really important why you are joining this course. That's why I wanted to take the Q&A session from here. Does guys anyone have the question? If you're not able to speak up, you can put that in the chat. We will try to answer as many question answers. Guys, anyone have the questions?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
The timing only thing was 9 to 10 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Is there any flexible time for the US people? Like if your people who are in the East Coast and the USA, is there any flexible time for us?
Oh, sorry, I'm not able to hear it. Guys, can you hear me? Navin, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So did somebody add the question? I just wanted to check here. I'm not able to hear the voice properly, but can you put that question in the chat, please? We will try to answer. So yeah, so the question is, oh, course timing and start date, right? First question we already, course timing is the first question is course timing, right? So course timing, the course starts at 9 p.m. to 10:30. It's a daily 1.5 hour session course. And it's a 3 months course, obviously. And the start date. So this is why we wanted to give you. So the course will begin from Wednesday onwards. In this upcoming Wednesday.
No, we are in the America. It won't work for us actually.
Sorry.
Can you check the chat?
There is a question in the message box, Banu. So what it is saying is that is there any flexible timings for USA people?
Flexible timing means what timing that you guys looking? Because the
So they are
are you
saying
looking
that
on the weekend or on the current Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. That's in IST hours. But if it is in EST hours, when you convert that 9 p.m. to 10:30, usually it is like 11 a.m. around that EST, right?
yes, correct. 11:30 a.m. EST.
Yeah.
So what they are saying is, are we? Is it okay for us to have a flexible timing for USA people? So those kind of questions have raised in the chat box. So they are saying that in office hours as 11:30 a.m. They'll have to go to office, right? So they are asking they can't join at that time. So
yeah, that's a right question. 11:30 a.m. EST, which is peak hours for any business. Yeah. So but we have as of now the batch is running at this timing, but if there are any changes in the timings, definitely we're going to update you because the large audience are from the same timings, right? Does anyone any other guys have the similar issues on the timings wise? Because we'll have to think about once again, if most of the audience are having the timing issues, we maybe will have to think about the different timings, because running the morning session, if somebody is comfortable on the morning session running them, very very much open. What do you say, Navin?
yes, same from my side.
Yeah, because
let us have a discussion on this, Banu. So if everybody is feasible to extend a little bit, maybe 9 p.m. is not working for them. Let us have a discussion with the institute. Yeah, hope you can hear me now. So let us
yeah,
have a discussion with the institute, and we'll come back on this. We are maintaining an WhatsApp group, right? Let us answer them with that, right? Let's have a discussion on that first.
okay, got it. Yeah, there's a one more question here that has been asked. What more details on the capstone project that we'll be working on? Yes. So capstone project is, there are like we said, like 3 capstone projects, right? So one, the project that we are going to take out one business context on the health care domain. We will explain you. Let's say, for example, I'm not going to reveal the details, just giving an hint. From the let's say a hospitality domain, a business context is there. Let's say, for example, hotel cancellations are spike. Any hotel OYO cancellations are happening. Now they wanted to look into reduce this cancellation and improve their sales. How do you do using the machine learning models? We wanted to take out that example. We will explain you with the concepts with any machine learning model. Then at the end of the machine learning, we will try to improve and give the suggestions based on the outputs of the rich data set that we have to the business people. Then how does they are going to use it to improve that model? We'll explain you with what happened in the real case scenarios. And we'll also, at the end of the session, we'll also explain you how do you deploy that model. That's how one capstone projects will work. Taking out the business context, real world business problem, explain you developing a machine learning model and deploy that. That's for the machine learning model. What the other capstone project is, we will give you one more thing and expect you to do it on your own. That's how you will learn it, right? Capstone projects are real world projects that so far we have designed. We will once you join the session, you will understand them in detail. That's for the ML. But when it comes to GenAI, Navin will also do the same thing. He'll provide you in detail, taking out the business context and explain you about the capstone project. Okay, so that's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah. So in generative AI, basically we'll do the development locally, and then we have this deployment steps like cloud phase. So creating EC2 instance when it is coming to Amazon, right? So we'll have to create EC2 instance, and then we'll have to connect that SSH into EC2 basically. For that, we'll have to use some kind of vector databases, or we have used Streamlit here, right? So instead of that, we'll have to use some additional things like vector databases, FAISS, or fast API kind of. So we have already we noted two projects for this. So based on the demand, like Amazon or AWS is booming, or Google, based on the job requirement, we'll be changing it. So for now, we have two projects ready, both with AWS and Google, not Azure. AWS and Google we are having.
Yeah, all right, Navin. Thanks for the explanation. Yeah, that's all. That is about the capstone project, guys. Any further questions? Please ask, because um, when you ask only that, your willingness will come. Like, yeah, I'm really committed to learn this course and get into the ML role. That's how you will gain the confidence when you work on the real world projects. All right. So if we are done with the QA session, we wanted to
Yeah, one second. So if you have any kind of questions later on, you could communicate with us with the group. So till tomorrow, I think that group will be active, because from some time later on, like Tuesday or Wednesday, we are going to start the real-time sessions. So tomorrow there will be another demo where we'll be explaining some of the concepts. Mr. Banu will be explaining on machine learning. He'll be picking up some of the concepts, and myself will be picking some concept from the generative AI, and we are going to explain you to show you the teaching style, and we are going to implement for a better understanding. So you could have a look at that in the next demo. So it is going to be interesting tomorrow. Basically, I request every one of you to join the tomorrow session as well.
Yeah.
So it's high time, Banu. I think we'll have to wind it up. So if some of you are having any questions, you can ask, or we'll close this call.
You can always reach out to us on the groups as well. You can ask the same question everywhere. We are very much open to answer your questions. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining this session, and it was hope we are able to answer your questions very much, and hope we are able to explain you our curriculum in detail. It was nice having session with you. If you still have any questions, you can always message in the group. Tomorrow we will connect again at the same time. We'll message in the group.
Yeah, tomorrow will be interesting. So we'll
because
go into the concept, and we'll discuss.
Yes,
right?
tomorrow will be much more interesting, because we will explain in detail about what is machine learning, and in detail how the applications are helpful. Similarly, Navin will explain what is deep learning and the applications, some of the fundamental concepts that are required. It will be much more interesting. It won't be a board course curriculum, but rather than the in detail course, the actual course that you're going to learn. Okay. So please join this session. We will our group admin will share you the details tomorrow. Please try to join this session again.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having good time. Have a good night and good morning for EST, guys. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.